Hello, everyone. Welcome to Championship Wrestling. This is Vince McMahon here at ringside, and scheduled this week on Championship Wrestling, we'll take a look at the Wild Samoan Championship. Once again, tag team combination. A non-title match. The Samoans will take on two ruffians in Johnny Rodz and Jose Estrada, who went quite a ways in the recent tag team tournament. We shall also see meeting individual competition, however, the likes of Sergeant Slaughter, the latest find of the Grand Wizard of Wrestling. Also scheduled to join us, Tony Garea. Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, will be here with us this week on Championship Wrestling, as well as many others. So we shall return with our opening contest in just a moment. The following wrestling exhibition requires discretionary viewer participation. Scheduled here, ladies and gentlemen, to join us in just a few moments will be, well, let's go to the ring announcer now, Joe McHugh.
Ladies and gentlemen, promoter Phil Zacco proudly presents Championship Wrestling, supervised by the State Athletic Commission, the Honorable J.J. Binns, Chairman, and the officials assigned, Chief Deputy Commissioners in charge, Tom Malandro, Tony Stanza, the Doctor in attendance at ringside, Dr. George Saharian, the timekeeper at the bell, Mike Mittman, and the referees for this hour of wrestling, Gilberto Roman, Dick Worley, Billy Caputo, Dick Carroll, and my name is Chili Gill. The opening contest is scheduled for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. But first, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present the Grand Wizard of Wrestling. And in the corner to my right with the Grand Wizard of Wrestling from Paris Island, South Carolina, weighing 305 pounds, it is Sergeant Slaughter. And his opponent from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing 235 pounds, it is Ricky Stallone.
Ricky Stallone from Philadelphia set to take on the Big Sergeant. Big, mean, and tough Sergeant Slaughter. The Grand Wizard very proud of his latest find. Here we go. Stallone rammed headfirst, bulldog fashion to the corner. And again, so Stallone obviously thus far is no match for Sergeant Slaughter. And apparently the referee is going to allow a lot of the bending of the rules, a lot of leniency here as far as his adherence to the rules is concerned. That is Sergeant Slaughter's adherence to the rules. In some cases, that leniency in terms of officiation is called for when there's a feud to be settled, when there are two great competitors in there, but the referee has to know the wrestlers. Really, it has to be a unique situation. So much of the laxness really on the part of some officiating has disgusted a lot of fans, not only here in the World Wrestling Federation, but indeed worldwide. Stallone, a moment ago, just clipped Sergeant Slaughter right across the jaw with a right hand, and it had no effect, or appeared to have no effect. There's no doubt that Sergeant Slaughter is a tough opponent for anyone. Stallone off, and it's sort of around the hip there. Sergeant Slaughter really enjoys what he does, and no one does it quite like Sergeant Slaughter, making reference to the way he, of course, dishes out the pain, dishes out the punishment. We've yet to see anyone capable of dishing it back to Sergeant Slaughter. But then again, he hasn't met the best, far from it. And not to take anything away from a Ricky Stallone, but Stallone obviously is not in the same category as that of Sergeant Slaughter. Power slam. And when you weigh 300 pounds, a power slam can be a devastating factor. Indeed, can crush a sternum very, very easily. Well, Stallone taking punishment and more of it. Still fires back with a few rights, mostly to the midsection, but has no effect at all on Sergeant Slaughter. The punches of Stallone obviously weakened, at least by now. Right across the head, Sergeant Slaughter lands, rolls his man over. And again, we see the rather disgusting tactics of Sergeant Slaughter, but here, the Cobra Clutch, a move that Sergeant Slaughter has perfected. If applied long enough, he'll put a man to sleep with it. But in the short run, it's simply a submission hold. Sergeant Slaughter, once again, victorious with a submission hold. And again, unless he is allowed to keep the hold, finally releasing the hold now, Sergeant Slaughter. Slaughter not done with his man yet, and the referee surely can't be that distracted by the Grand Wizard. Clearly, the referee can see what's going on.
It is a time, 4 minutes and 25 seconds, and the winner, Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter victorious. Let's take a look now, if we may, at slow motion action. And there was certainly no contest at any time during this match. Sergeant Slaughter just too big, too rough. Slaughter off the rope with the foot there, and that right foot landed clearly on the head of Sergeant Slaughter. Just one of the few things, or one of the many things actually, that pushed Sergeant Slaughter into almost oblivion. We shall return, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue with Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
The next contest is scheduled for 1 fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from the Orient, weighing 226 pounds, it is the Black Demon. And his opponent from Roanoke, Virginia, weighing in at 250 pounds, it is Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Mr. USA against the Black Demon should be an interesting match. Atlas has never looked finer. Here we go. A moment ago, Atlas taking exception to that closed fist shot of the Black Demon. Atlas taking over the Demon now with some ease, although a hook of the tights now, and Atlas's shoulders were on the canvas there for a moment. Atlas really in no danger of being pinned. Atlas being pushed back now in a legal fashion. We'll see what the Demon can come up here with in the way of offense. Well, from our vantage point, a blatant chokehold. Now the vantage point of the referees as well, the hold broken. Years ago, there was a Black Demon in the World Wrestling Federation. This is not the same one. The Black Demon years ago, much larger. Almost a giant of a man, a 300-pounder. Listen to the smack of the flesh as Atlas pours it on. Ha ha. Atlas, a champion in every respect. Nice maneuver there. Nice sit out, spin around by the Black Demon. We'll see what Atlas can do to come up in the way of a counter. Not much if this continues. The choke that was. Demon trying to keep the chokehold away from the referee. Forearm smash landing again. Blatant chokehold, and Mr. Atlas spins the Demon around. The Demon to the buckle and really whipped in there with authority. Atlas with the Demon up in the air, and look at that. Oh, unbelievable power possessed by Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. What Atlas just did would be tough enough to do with a barbell equally balanced on both sides, but with a man up there, it's equally, I mean, it's just that much tougher. Atlas does indeed do phenomenal things in the squared circle. Things that no one can do but Atlas. And now, Atlas making some sort of gesture as if he's going to take the mask off the Black Demon. Nice takedown by the Demon. Now the Demon has hooked the mouth of Atlas. Now he's back into a pressure point. Atlas spins out of it quite nicely. Working on the wrist, tightens it up a bit more, spins the Demon around. Atlas goes down with the arm bar. Atlas continues to move. One of his great assets. Atlas with those mammoth-sized arms. And of course, when you see Atlas, you don't just see well-conditioned arms, you see a perfectly symmetrical body. His first love, wrestling. Came up through the amateur ranks and now has made one of the great pro wrestlers in terms of status. Chopped to the throat there by the Demon. As Atlas back to the corner. And Atlas, if he wants it, he can have it. We'll go to work on that mask. If Atlas starts pulling and tugging on that mask, something will give. He'll either rip the mask off or the head will come off. Something will give. Such is the power of Tony Atlas. Taking over there. Atlas right back on him, though. Scoops up Mr. The Demon, the Black Demon. Follows through an elbow down into the kidney area, actually, as Demon tried to spin out of it. Atlas was going to, appeared as though he was going to suplex the Demon. Demon hooked a rope. Now Atlas backs off. You know, you get the impression that if Atlas wanted to, he could end this match at any time. No one explodes quite like Tony Atlas does, and if Atlas decides to explode, I think it'll be all over for the Black Demon. Well, the Demon perhaps a bit desperate now. He's done everything possible to defeat Tony Atlas, so apparently the Demon feels as though he must now resort to more aggressive tactics if he has a chance of defeating Tony Atlas. Atlas getting himself up, getting himself together. Atlas, 1, 2, he gets it. So yes, Atlas toyed around with the Demon there for a while, then decided, well, I've had enough. I'll go for it. I'll squash him like a grape, and that's exactly what he did.
And 1 second, and the winner, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas victorious. And we shall return as we continue with more professional wrestling in just a moment.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the next contest set for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing him at corner to my right, from Panama City, weighing 220 pounds, it is Steve King. And in the corner to my left, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 231 pounds, Larry Zbyszko.
Well, Larry Zbyszko now certainly taking his sweet time entering the squared circle. Larry Zbyszko just about ready to lock up with Steve King. Referee starts putting the count on him. Zbyszko in no danger of being counted out. He's a master at this. He's a tactician. There's no doubt on it. We want Tony. Listen to him. We want Tony. Making reference, of course, to Tony Gurria. The only one who doesn't want Tony is Larry Zbyszko. Here we go. Gurria, or rather Tony Gurria's former tag team partner, Larry Zbyszko, now just about ready to lock up with Steve King. You can see Zbyszko maneuvering around a bit, trying to maneuver King into his corner. See what sort of strategies Zbyszko is up to now. If King comes into the corner, you see King having a few words there with Larry Zbyszko. King gets to get a bit closer. You would think Zbyszko would try and spin him around, keep King in the corner, and then go to work on him. You would not see Larry Zbyszko attempt to do this against a better wrestler. Zbyszko slamming his man, Steve King, to the canvas, and now standing over him. Zbyszko in complete control at the moment. Well executed suplex. Zbyszko spins around, and just like that, he gets him. So short work for Larry Zbyszko. No competition here for Larry Zbyszko. There will, however, be other days, and Larry Zbyszko will be faced with rigid competition. And the fans, I'm sure, are looking forward to that day.
Here's the time, 2 minutes and 44 seconds. The winner, Larry Zbyszko.
Did you see that? Well, that's a height of arrogance. Larry Zbyszko blowing kisses to the fans here at this jam-packed arena. The kisses, and indeed the sentiment, certainly not reciprocal in any fashion at all. Larry Zbyszko continues to be one of the most despised wrestlers to ever don a pair of tights. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments as we continue, and scheduled to join us in just a few moments will be Tony Garea. Tony Garea taking on rugged Baron Mikhail Cicluna, in which should be a very interesting match. Then after that, we'll take another look at Ripper Hawkins, and then the Samoans in a non-title tag team match. The newly crowned tag team champions, the Samoans, will take on a rough combination, and Johnny Rodz and Jose Estrada. All this coming up in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next contest is set for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Here in the corner to my left, from the Isle of Malta, weighing 275 pounds, here is Baron Miguel Cicluna. And in the corner to my right, from Auckland, New Zealand, weighing 244 pounds, it is Tony Garea.
Tony Garea taking on the Big Baron. Cicluna, of course, the larger of the two, not necessarily the tougher of the two. Here we go. Tony Garea having his problems with Baron Mikhail Cicluna, and you can hear now the capacity crowd clapping for Tony Garea, trying to encourage him to get something going. It's tough to do when you're there against the likes of the Big Baron. Baron Mikhail Cicluna is one of the few wrestlers to have reigned as long as he has as a contender in the World Wrestling Federation. Scicluna on any given night capable of defeating any one wrestler. Just last week, Tony Garea and his tag team partner at that time, Rene Goulet, giving the Samoans a run for their money in the tag team final in the elimination tournament for the championship. It was unfortunate that the Samoans once again became tag team champions. Certainly not at the fault of Tony Garea, for that matter, not at the fault of Rene Goulet either. So perhaps Garea will pursue individual interests now, or then again, perhaps Garea will team up with another tag team partner and continue his pursuit to become a tag team champion. Well, thus far, this match has been all Baron Mikel Scicluna. Tony Garea appears to be almost out of it. Scicluna's going to come after him. And Garea, in just a short fall there, from the apron down to the concrete floor, rammed the back of his head against the concrete floor. That's one of the problems of being struck, whether it be wrestling, boxing, whatever it is. In that, when one is struck, the effect of the blow is one thing, but when you fall, the effect of that as well can compound and sometimes actually be more of an injury than the actual blow itself. Now Garea picking up the momentum. He stayed on the outside as he should, listening to the count of the referee, but all the while clearing the cobwebs, and Tony Garea now hammering it away on Baron Mikel Scicluna. Well, the roar of the crowd, I believe, and the accusations by some of the fans around ringside is that Scicluna used some sort of object, which we have seen many, many times in the past. So Scicluna thwarting the effort of Tony Garea, who really had a lot of momentum going for himself there just minutes ago. Tony Garea has, well, just taken tremendous sums of punishment thus far in this match. Most of it to the head area. Now, from our vantage point, we can clearly see there is some sort of object tucked in the tights now. Baron Mikel Scicluna. That, of course, one of the secrets, I guess, of the longevity of the career of Baron Mikel Scicluna. Scicluna using the shortcut method. Many times, however, Scicluna is disqualified for his actions, and thus the shortcut method does not always work for the Big Baron. Garea trying to pick himself up despite the overwhelming odds against it now. And sucker right hand. Another one knocks Scicluna down to the canvas. Tony Garea with momentum, with the fire needed. So now it's Cicluna who's feeling the effects. Wait a minute, Cicluna going down to the tights. No. And a tip was made by Cicluna a moment ago to once again use that object count of 1, 2, and almost 3. A drop kick that partially missed. It was partial. Tony Garea has the object. All right. Cicluna complaining to referee Dick Worley that Tony Garea used an object, and perhaps even referee Dick Worley saw the use of the object. Perhaps he didn't. But even if he did, it was somewhat justified on the part of Tony Garea.
Here's the time, 6 minutes and 54 seconds. The winner, Tony Garea.
Tony Garea victorious, but I think Garea wants to use it, that object that is, a little more on the Big Baron, who now will head to the tall timber. Dick Worley now gets a close-hand look at the object that was used by first Cicluna and then Tony Garea. We return in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next contest, it is a non-title tag team match scheduled for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. But first I want to introduce the manager of the Fearless, Captain Lou Albano. And in the corner to my right, from New York City, weighing 239 pounds, here is the unpredictable Johnny Rod. And his partner from New York City, weighing 235 pounds, Jose Estrada. And in the corner to my left, from the Isle of Samoa, at a combined weight of 614 pounds, here is the new World Wrestling Federation's World's Tag Team Champion.
Yes, indeed, Lou Albano and company making wrestling history, regaining the Tag Team Championship. Many said it couldn't be done, but here they will be tested this week by Johnny Rodz and Jose Estrada, a very aggressive tag team combination. All right, here we go. Johnny Rodz stepping over, coming back off the rope, and knocking Sika to the canvas. Johnny Rodz and Jose Estrada should give, as we said before, the Samoans a run for the money, although this is a non-title event. Nice arm drag takedown. Another one. Drop kick. Yes, sir. Rodz and Estrada now double teaming Big Sika. I'm surprised that the Samoans have signed on for this match. You would think that Lou Albano would be highly selective as to whom the Samoans faced. Referee having his problems going from one side, then another. The additional weight, of course, on the rope, making it that much tougher for the referee to help the Samoan escape. Aha! Well, perhaps there are many times that the fans, we've seen the majority of the fans boo this combination of Johnny Rodz and Jose Estrada in the past, but they're not booing this week. They would like to see Rodz and Estrada take the Samoans. Yes, sir. Rodz and Estrada making a very good account of themselves thus far against the Samoans. And you have to mix it up with the Samoans. You have to keep them off balance. Give them the unexpected. That's the way you beat them. You don't beat them by trying to match power with power. You don't beat them by trying to really take their heads off. Although Sika now inflicting some pain there on Johnny Rodz. Alpha back over as well. Headbutt by Alpha. Double team effort continues. Alpha with a split lip as a result of Johnny Rodz earlier with that side kick. Legitimate tag for a change on the part of the Samoans. Sika laying him in on Johnny Rodz. Alpha joining in as well. Rodz certainly in the wrong part of town. Ooh, Johnny Rodz level to the canvas. You just can't let the Samoans gain an advantage. You have to keep them off balance. Give them something you're not looking for. But in almost every case, the Samoans will find their way to victory, one way or the other. Tag made again, and Johnny Rodz going nowhere. Very unusual move, headbutt to the sternum area of the chest. Rodz is out of it. But he'll keep trying. Tenacious wrestler is Johnny Rodz. Rodz would like nothing better than the tag. Jose Estrada gets a little bit closer. Yes, the tag was made. Now here comes Jose Estrada. Estrada, one-man gang in there at the moment. And Alpha goes reeling. Sika takes a shot, drop kick. To the ropes, shoulder block, moves the Samoan back a bit. To the ropes, but this time, the Samoan drop. The cover. There for a while, it appeared as though Jose Estrada really found the ticket in dealing with the Samoans, but unfortunately, as has happened so many, many times in the past, just when you think you have the Samoans right where you want them, they'll turn it around. They'll defeat you so quickly, it would make your head spin.
It is a time, 6 minutes and 32 seconds, and the winners, the tag team champions of the world, the Samoans.
Well, it was a gallant effort, at least on the part of Jose Estrada and Johnny Rodz, and he certainly had their moments in the tag team match. Although it was non-title, Rodz and Estrada made a very good accounting of themselves, and I'm sure the Samoans remember this match for quite some time. Let's go back, take a look at slow motion action if we have it. Here, Estrada shoved to the rope, headed off, got a pretty good body block there on Afa, not enough to take him down, but there, perfect execution on the part of Afa. The Samoan drop the head right into the solar plexus area, knocking the air out of Jose Estrada, and of course the Samoans on to victory. And I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of the Samoans in weeks to come here on Championship Wrestling. Scheduled next, we'll take another look at the newcomer of Lou Albano, making reference to Ripper Hawkins.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next contest is scheduled for 1 fall or 2 curfew. Introducing in the corner to my right from Columbus, Ohio, weighing 240 pounds, it is Frankie Williams. And his opponent, coming down the aisle, being led into the ring by his manager, Captain Lou Albano. Here he is from Alabama, weighing 293 pounds. Here is Moondog Hawkins.
There's a good look at Mr. Hawkins. Hawkins taking on Frank Williams. Here we go. Hawkins with the elbow smash. And this match, if you could call it a match, has been all Mr. Hawkins. A moment ago, it appeared as though Mr. Hawkins was howling. As a matter of fact, the ring announcer introduced Mr. Hawkins as Moondog Hawkins. So Moondog Hawkins in total control of Frank Williams, and I'm sure at this moment Mr. Williams is very sorry that he has signed on for this match. Abdominal claw, you see so many different holds used by this man Hawkins, although this is only the second time we've seen Mr. Hawkins. Lou Albano can find him. There's no doubt of that. Lou Albano comes up with the most unusual wrestling talent in the world. Moondog Hawkins just pouring it on. Slam after slam, punch after punch. Whoa. shoulder breaker executed to perfection. We'll have a word in a moment on next week's feature match here on Championship Wrestling. But if we may, we will introduce, or we'll get the actual announcement from the referee as to this decision.
It is time, 2 minutes and 52 seconds, and the winner, Moondog Hawkins.
Moondog Hawkins victorious. We'll take a look at slow motion action. And also, by way of informing you, ladies and gentlemen, as to our feature match next week here on Championship Wrestling, the Samoans will join us. Afa, Sika, they had a pretty rough time of it here this week against the combination of Rods and Estrada. Even a tougher time is in store for the Samoans next week, as the Samoans in a non-title match will take on Rene Goulet and Dominic DeNucci. So it should be an exciting feature attraction next week here on Championship Wrestling. A non-title match of Samoans against Rene Goulet and Dominic DeNucci. We'll see you next week.